Mark here for another great Wisdom and Knowledge 5 podcast. And with everything that just transpired, I want to discuss this week how the world is a stage. You need to be able to, decipher, discern, you name it, from what is fake and what is reality. With everything that's going on, there's a lot of things that they're pushing out there that, are false, that are, staged, you name it. And we, the ones standing up, the ones who have, gotten it since for quite some time now, are seeing right through the BS. And more people who didn't get it before are waking up. So let's get into this. I want to share a couple videos here and we will break things down. Much love to everyone taking a stand, standing up for humanity against these evil pricks, trying to rule over us, trying to rule the world, trying to deceive us. Because, we massively outnumber them and we have the ability to, stand by the masses and stand against this. All right, here we go.
Awful lot of coincidences on the third assassination attempt of the president. So first, before all the shots rang out, oh, if you're behind on all that, I'll catch you up in 1 second. But listen to what she says right here. Not just what she says, what else she's doing. This was right before the shot started going off in the assassination attempt, which, by the way, left the shooter unalived. They say, but how did he get there? Again, how does that keep happening?
Ready to rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great.
Y'all, what in the world are the possibilities? She said there'll be some shots fired while throwing up that 666.
Classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight.
Y'all, really, what are the possibilities of both of that happening at the same exact time? Of course, all hell is breaking loose. It'd be one thing if it was like, shots fired alone, but when she's flashing the 666 wild, and this is the third time that this has happened. Am I reaching, or does this feel extremely odd to you too? Let me know. And again, the most protected man in the entire world, and this keeps on happening.
Mm-hmm. And he's right on point. I mean, this is just so true. And I'm somebody who has, been in TV shows and, so I have the experience and I want to pull this up right here. This is one of the TV shows that I was in. I mean, I wanted to do this acting thing. And then, when I was in it, I came to the realization that not everything, but a lot of it is predictive programming. A lot of it is pushing propaganda out to the masses. Well, look at this. The Last Ship, 2015, and this was about a pandemic where all of humanity was wiped out by a pandemic. But anyways, this is just, I'm in the background. I was just a fly on the wall, but you can clearly see that I was in this scene. And this is a scene where, the White House has moved to St. Louis. And here we go. Let me just play this. This is just proof that, yes, I was in the industry and worked on all these different TV shows.
James was here. There are at least a dozen reasons why we might not have heard from them. Most likely they went to MCOT.
Without telling us.
It's protocol. In the case of imminent threat.
And there I am right there in the back.
Most likely they went to
So, as somebody who's worked in the industry who's, even though I was a fly on the wall, I was still part of the production. So I get what's going on. This world is completely a stage. It's almost like a, Hollywood theatrics. And, we have to be able to see through the BS. We have to be able to take a stand, and that's what people are doing. I want to share this to over here.
Imagine being so hated as an elitist that even your own assassination attempts are being labeled as staged. This is exactly what is happening to Donald Trump. Now, even I was questioning the Butler shooting that happened right before he won the presidential race because something just seemed way too off. In hindsight, I do think this is a good thing because people are actually questioning what their government is capable of staging for their greater good. People are actually starting to wake up now. And this is a really great thing.
And yes, people are waking up, and people are waking up by the masses. And, that's what it takes. You have to realize what's really going on in the world and be able to decipher between what is truth and what is, you know, false, what is fake, what is staged, you name it. There's so much going on, whether it be, wars, funding wars, our taxpayer dollars going towards funding wars, which we didn't sign up for, we have no interest in, and left and right, you know, more and more people are, saying, look, this isn't adding up. We don't support this. We don't stand for this. We stand for humanity. And it goes, you can look on a website like APAC Tracker. This isn't about left versus right. This isn't about, you know, uh, uh, political party because they're all being funded by the same people, and to push out their agenda. And their agenda doesn't line up with humanity's agenda. They want humanity wiped out, That's why there's things like Agenda 2030, where you will own nothing, you will be happy, you will be, enslaved to their life. That's why, this current administration is so heavily in with these Zionist corporations, the AI corporations, you know. So we as humanity are out there speaking out, and that's what it takes, is speaking out, sharing truths, whether it be on social media, whether it be word of mouth, you name it. We have the power to wake up the masses. We have the power to, you know, take a stand. We have the power to say no to this, and we can control where we spend our time, where we spend our energy, you name it, you know, and through this, we can make a difference in the world. And, you know, yeah, it, even if we go down, hey, we took a stand. We stood for what was right, because we're not, I myself am not called to live in a world where, you know, billions of your taxpayer dollars go to Israel, billions of your taxpayer dollars go towards them wiping out humanity, towards them funding genocides. Nah, I'm not part of that. I'm not, no, I don't stand for that. So I can speak out, stand against it because, you know, everything that we do, we have a choice. We have a choice who we can follow, who, how we get our information. And when you realize that things aren't adding up, you know, then you want to share that out with others. You want to be a light in this world, and that's what it takes. So, hands down, we have the ability to discern, to see through the BS that is being thrown in our faces. And they're doing so much that what does that lead to? That leads to more and more people waking up because they're like, hey, this doesn't add up. This just keeps on happening. Doesn't add up. So, in my opinion, they're making huge mistakes. They essentially think that we're dumb. We're not. They're the buffoons. We uh are the educated ones. We are the ones who fully comprehend what's going on. So this is truly, the time where more and more people will wake up to this, more and more people will stand against this, and more people will be, sharing truths out left and right. And that's what it takes. When you realize that the world is a stage, you know, uh, then you can say, hey, look, if this world is a stage, if they're doing this all for show, for theatrics, you name it, then why support it? Why, expose it? Do the exact opposite. Expose what they're doing because you have a voice. You hands down have a voice. You know it. And, you know, use your experience, use what you've learned to your advantage to, share these truths out because that's what it takes. We need more and more people waking up, more and more people, fully comprehending it, more and more. We need humanity standing together instead of being divided, which they want. We, do not stand for them trying to enslave us, which is what they're trying to do, and we stand for the truth. So much love to all of humanity who's taking a stand. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. I got some great guests coming up. I've had incredible interviews in the past. You can check them out. Uh, and just keep on fighting the good fight for all of humanity because that's what it takes. For Wisdom and Knowledge 5, I am Mark. Peace.